Federal judge is temporarily blocking Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency from accessing personal data from a pair of federal agencies. The ruling says that the Department of Education cannot disclose personal identification information to DOGE about the 6 Americans and members of 5 unions who are suing over access to their sensitive data. Altogether, that's about 2 million people.
Also, the Office of Personnel Management is barred from sharing any of the personal data with employees who are working on the DOGE agenda. The judge is putting the temporary block in place, saying that sharing this information could violate the Privacy Act.
Joining us now, our chief legal analyst, Conleve Rhodes. This all comes down to the judge saying that they haven't been able to prove that they have a real need for that information. How do we get to this point, and where do we stand right now? Because it almost makes your head spin trying to follow all this.
It makes your head spin in reading this. I mean, I've got my law school reading back on today, had to pull out the glasses even though I don't wear them. I mean, combing through this 33-page order from the court even was confused a number of times, and they have a number of footnotes. When you see footnotes in an order, that's letting you know I don't have enough room to put it in the body, but because I don't want the reader to be confused, I'm going to give you a little note about the big note that I'm already writing. So a couple of things. You have unions that are representing teachers, aerospace workers, Federation employees, a lot of folks that are underrepresented, and you have union representative to speak for you. This comes down to a couple of things. The judge is making sure that if you're going through the standard analysis of an injunction, specifically a temporary injunction, first of all, that it's an extraordinary relief. This is not something that you take lightly. For me to tell someone or some entity to stop doing something, there is a high burden. Well, what does that burden look like? The biggest thing that it harps on is irreparable harm. Will you be harmed to a manner that I can't give you a dollar amount to fix it? It's the harm to that point where it's unfixable with money. And the court went through the analysis. And before you can get to that analysis, they have to have alleged some type of injury. So this was 2 parts. Before we can get to the irreparable harm, are you even injured? And that's the analysis that the judge basically spends the first 10 pages of going through saying, look, there is an actual injury. The injury is here. Plaintiffs allege that they are injured because there's an unauthorized access to their sensitive personal information. Plaintiffs assert that granting DOGE and their affiliates access to this information invades their privacy and increases their risk to identity theft. The government responds back and says, no, that's not an injury in fact. Matter of fact, there's not an injury at all. The court disagreed and said plaintiffs have alleged an injury in fact. If they didn't jump over that hurdle, there would have been no analysis of any of the other 3 factors that are required to grant a temporary restraining order, specifically that irreparable harm.
So DOGE and Elon Musk are saying we want full clearance access to all the data so that we can see if there's any overspending or unnecessary spending. Obviously, the judge is saying you don't need all of the sensitive data. You can still make that judgment call with the amount that we are giving you. That's what they're saying, right?
Well, a couple of things. There's still not a connection, a logical step to I need the information of these individuals' personal information to see if there's government overspending or waste. Because you have a budget, so you already know what Congress has allocated for these individual agencies. You'll be able to reconcile that with what they've spent. And so I can see this is what you were allocated, this is what you've spent, and you can actually see where it was spent. So you have all the things that you need to be able to make a determination of are we overspending or not. Now, getting access to these individuals' private information does not further or advance your argument. And that's what the judge has also alleged. You have not actually mentioned or indicated why you need this information. How does it advance? And if you could do that, then it'll have to show it's getting what you need and advancing your agenda greater than the infringement that it will have on these individuals' personal private information. And they weren't able to jump over that hurdle. But you don't even get to that argument because there's irreparable harm. But the judge did walk through some of that.
Okay, so Khalif, obviously we talked about they're going at a breakneck speed here. So what comes next, right? We had a temporary restraining order, temporary. So what comes next? Is there going to be an appeal? How does this all work?
Typically, that's what happens. I mean, and so you'll grant something, either it could be an ex parte, meaning that I haven't given the other side notice and I just want the judge to take action. That didn't happen here. The judge allowed both parties to submit motions, to submit briefs, and then make a determination of, okay, I'll listen to both arguments and I'll grant something called a temporary restraining order. Now you'll be asking for a permanent injunction, something that will have the court determine that, hey, what they're trying to do is something that needs to be blocked permanently. permanently. This isn't temporary, and that will be a lot longer. Typically, that's 20 days from now. You'll have a hearing, and they'll be able to go through the process, exactly the same process. The likelihood of success on the merits, the likelihood of irreparable harm, this balancing of the equities. Is it in public interest for something like this to be allowed? Do we have a history of this occurring? Once the court goes through that analysis, yes, this court can make a final determination with an asterisk, because it will be only final until they decide to appeal it to the Court of Appeals. And then that won't be final, because then they can appeal it to the Supreme Court. It's all right for that right now. If you look at this, I'll say this lastly. The judge quoted 5 other judges that have already touched this. When you have multiple judges making different decisions, it normally goes to the Supreme Court.
Man, all these asterisks and footnotes, I need ibuprofen. I'm glad you're the attorney, because this makes my head hurt. Philippe, thanks, man. I appreciate it.